Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid Mahidin, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Now, as you know, there's been quite a lot of cricket that's been happening, obviously with the 4-day games happening, and as well as women's cricket with the Women's Super League. Now, I've had the opportunity to be able to watch the Women's Super League live, and I tend to start these daily shows with those performances first. And I want to talk about that particularly, as well as Rassie van der Dussen. And I'll give you a quick update as well on the 4-day competition as well. But before we get started into today's video, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click that notification bell for all future videos. So let's get into today's topic. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about the Women's Super League. There were a lot bigger scores today than yesterday in the second edition of the second day of the competition. We can start off with the Starlights who took on we could start with the Starlights who took on the defending champions, the Coronations. Now, in this particular match, it was very much down to a 19-year-old Annerie Dussen, who scored a steady 66 to obviously help them to a decent total. She put on a 102-run partnership with Andri Steyn, and they performed excellently together, although Steyn fell for 29. So that just shows who is the person that really anchored that innings and anchored that partnership. We had her score 66 of 62 balls, with included 10 fours. She really played beautifully around the ground. It was very excellent to see a youngster put on a performance the way she did. She helped the team obviously reach a total of 132, and then they obviously defended that total. They only won by 2 runs. I mean, it is the team that Laura Wolfart is in, and Laura didn't actually put on a performance like we are accustomed to. But it was Kirsty Thompson who played excellently, and she scored 53 or 50 balls for the Coronations. But they couldn't get over the line because Masabata Class was excellent. She put in a match-winning performances with her 3 for 25 or 4 overs. So it was excellent to watch that particular game and see some women in action. Tatum LaRue also bowled with some pace. She really defended the total with 12 runs needed of the last over. She actually defended that game and defended the total, and the Starlights actually ended up winning that game by 2 runs, which was excellent from their perspective. Then we can go on to the next game, where a youngster, once again, also 21-year-old youngster, obviously starred in this game. Banetti, she was amazing. She took 4 for 18 in this particular match against the Thistles, to help the Thistles, secure two wins out of 2, and they're the only unbeaten team at the moment in the tournament. They beat the Duchesses quite convincingly. It was the Thistles that batted first, and they scored 148 runs, which was the highest score of the tournament, actually. Trisha Chetty batted well, and Tabete batted very well as well. I particularly preferred her innings to Chetty's, although Chetty was more aggressive of the two. She scored 45 of 37 balls, where Tabete was the one that scored 43 or 50 balls. But she looked amazing at the crease. She really was inventive with some of the shots, and it was really nice to see. But we have to give it down to the 4 for 18 in this particular match from Banetti, as they beat the Thistles by 36 runs, which was an excellent performance. I really like that we are being able to see some women's cricket, and obviously it's a very positive look going forward, and I'm really happy that this is excellent to see youngsters perform, etc., and as well as who are the up-and-coming stars in women's cricket, and watch them perform against some of our top players. Obviously, the likes of Shibnam Ismail, the likes of Lizelle Lee, the likes of so many other youngsters, so many other Proteas, Laura Wolfart, Nadine de Klerk was excellent today with her 2 wickets, and so many other, Sune Lewis as well. So there's so many so many Proteas in this particular tournament that it's really exciting to see some women's cricket getting opportunity and getting some insight. And obviously we're going to have a women's show on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock, where everybody can obviously have an opportunity to watch, to find out what happened in the tournament. I'm going to try to get some guests on the show as well, talk about the tournament and what it was like in that. So I've got Corbus actually asking me how was the WSL today. Yes, it was really enjoyable to watch. A lot better than yesterday. Obviously, higher scores that were scored. But let's move on to the main topic of the show. My question to you guys is Rassie van der Dussen undroppable in the test side? Now, this obviously comes off after his performance today. So in this particular match, and what stood out in the 4-day wrap was obviously there were two tons that was major tons that were scored. One was from Rudy Second, who scored a second, another century, and also the one from Rassie van der Dussen, who actually performed really well. And context matters in this particular innings. I know he's 107 came off 203 balls, and some people might say, okay, cool, that's a hell of a lot of balls, but it's in a longer format. You need to take your time, and because his team was crumbling behind him, he really had to anchor that innings to try and get them to some sort of decent total. But he ran out of partners, and obviously they ended up following on. They're not in a great space at the moment, the Lions are currently Australian the Knights still by 167 runs in their second innings now. Obviously, the Knights posting a massive 472 run total, and the Lions didn't get close to it. So, and they're trailing by 167 runs, and he lost his wicket in the second innings now from the distance. So it's up to some other guys to actually put up their hands to try and get a draw out of this. But I want to talk about Rassie's innings, Rassie specifically, because we've had a lot of debates about where he sits in the Proteas side and whether he has one of those solidified spots in the Proteas setup. So I'm going to go to your comments and check what you guys said. We have Bad Panda in his latest test innings, he scored 98. How people want to drop him? Surely not. That's an excellent point. Rassie van der Dussen is the face of the Proteas batting after Quinton at present. Just Cowley saying, it would be bizarre to drop Rassie after scoring 90 plus in the test knock. I don't see it happening, especially for a debutant. And then we have someone saying, what about Reinhard van Tonder? I'll answer that question now. I like Rassie because he's got that consistency. Sorry, guys, I just lost you for a second. That's something very similar to the likes of Kyle Verreynne, who is in the particular squad as well. He also seems to bat really well under pressure. Now, you have to let me know, guys, if you think that Rassie is undroppable, because I mean, I would really like to, if I had to make a select a side, I think Rassie is one of my first names on my team sheet because, and remember that these views are just the views of Cricket Fanatics magazine. This is my own views. I'm separating myself from the brand itself, but I'm giving you my own opinion and what I think about it. And I think Rassie is an excellent person to have in the dressing room first and foremost, and on the pitch. It's a guy that you want to go to war with in the middle. He really supports you. He will even be as selfless to support you on the other end, even if you need the support, and obviously allow you to free flow and play your game and sit back a little bit. That's what Rassie will do for you. And I think that he is one of the main guys in the Proteas setup. I mean, if you're looking over time now for the Proteas, when they've been lacking in that batting order, I mean, they've really struggled, and Rassie's been consistent in that batting order. He has obviously, for South Africa, he has 350s. It's only an average of 34.25, but don't look at that. I think he's only played 4 matches and 8 innings for South Africa, so it's very little to actually assess him. And in that time, 4 matches, he scored 350s, so he's been excellent actually. And we've got some guys over here that said, I think Rassie is undroppable at the moment. And I would agree with that term. And I think that is something that we need to speak about. But if they're going to, he should be in the next edition's, on the next edition's cover. Actually, Dex, Rassie was on the first cover, our first ever magazine that we wrote, the first one that we produced. Rassie van der Dussen was on the cover of that magazine. We're going to go very different with this next issue. I'm really excited about the type of content we're going to produce for this next issue. Rassie was on our first cover. Rassie van der Dussen needs to be in the team, but I would personally pick Temba over him because later in T20 is more important. We might need to pick more players of color to compensate for the lesser players picked now. Rassie equals undroppable. Now that's an interesting point with the transformation targets. It's obviously over a period of time. And generally speaking, we would see the T20 teams get filled up with players of color so that they can meet the requirements. And but this time around, because the T20 World Cup is taking the obviously the main priority, if South Africa wants to win that T20 World Cup, they have to pick their best side for that particular games. SA can beat Sri Lanka without our strongest team, so we can arrest Rassie. That's also another option. And some people might say that too. We have Bad Panda. Rassie bats at 3 for me, Faf at 4, and Quinny at 5. Nice balance, in my opinion. Yeah, Rassie for 3 is an excellent shout as well, and dropping Faf obviously to 4. I mean, a lot of guys who might say that that the Faf should bat at 3. Faf batted at 5 as well for South Africa quite a few times as well. So it's also an interesting one to see. I mean, Quinny at 4 is also an opportunity option, and having Verena at 6. It's up to South Africa what they want to do. They want to see all the youngsters and what they can offer and who can put up their hand for that test selection, or they're going to go with the strongest team that they have available currently. Obviously, KG is not available because of injury, but the rest of the guys are all there, and they can actually maybe pick the strongest team that they have available. Jascoli said it would be really nice to see other new players warm into international cricket like Rassie did. He's a good example of how to look for. He's a good example to look at for guidance. Shoaib Zahir saying Bavuma does not deserve a place in the side. Since past 18 months, he is averaging 19 in Test cricket. Plus, Bavuma is not good against spin. The middle order batsman would do well in all conditions. He's not going to be facing spin actually in this particular series, probably not as much. Or he will be, but it won't be as crazy on the Centurion and the Wanderers wickets. Picking players of color does not amount to not picking your best team, and Lubabalo's 100% correct over there. Everybody just wants to throw the quota out there. I think everybody deserves their position, their space in the squad. Temba Bavuma wasn't picked because of his stats necessarily, and people need to understand that. Temba Bavuma was picked even when we met the quota requirements. The quota requirements is actually 2 black Africans in the national side, 2 black Africans, and then the rest that fills up the quota of 6 can be players of color, so either Indian or people of color, or colored people in what we would call in South Africa. So that's how it actually works. So they still picked Lungi, Temba, and Quinton, Lungi, Temba, and KG in the same team. So they're not picking Temba based on the color of his skin, and that's where people get it wrong. They're picking him because they believe that he has an ability to be able to anchor innings when there's a collapse, and obviously team up with Quinton de Kock really well. Quinton has always spoken very fondly about the way about batting with Temba, because Temba kind of is a rock on the other end for Quinton to be able to express himself when they needed him to, and he's been quite a soldier in that position going forward. We have Shoaib Zahir saying Kyle Verena is my pick for the final 11. Aiden, Reynard, Rassie, Quinton. I think Proteas can have a potential world-class batting lineup up in tests in coming years, but building the batting lineup around these 4. Very interesting point. Shaib, which Bavuma is not good at what? Which Bavuma is not good against spin? Funny guy. I think we must look to build what we can. No. I think we must look to build that can do well in Pakistan. It is pleasing that players who have done well in their first class competition. If Rian Mulder plays, where would you bat him? Interesting point. I think that we got some excellent pieces coming out very soon in the next issue of the magazine, which talks about all-rounders. So guys, please stay tuned to that. But based on the balance of the side, I think if Vian plays, he'll probably play in the number 7 position. I know that he's an excellent batter, and he bats up the order, and he's batted up the order for his school. He's batted up the order for his province as well, for Gauteng. He's batted up the order as well for the Lions. But seeing that the balance of the side is tending to lean towards having Quinton further up the order and having Faf and Rassie in that middle order. And obviously, about Aiden, about Dean. Three, they're still looking for a solid number three, I think. I still believe that they're still searching for that perfect number three. They tried Zubair Hamza. In my eyes, they didn't try him enough. I know he's having a very terrible season this season. He hasn't been on his best form at the moment. They've tried him. They're now going to have Keegan Peterson in the side, which they might try at number three as well. Rassie can bat three. He bats there for the Lions. So there's so many players that we have available to us. We just need to see what they're going to do and how they're going to pick this side. Dick saying Kyle should play in the Boxing Day test. A lot of us believe that they should. A lot of us say as well, Quinton taking the gloves, captaining, and focusing on his batting, it might be a lot for him to cope with. And therefore, some people say that he should drop the gloves, and that will obviously allow him to bat up the order. I believe that Quinton should bat at 4 or at 5, because I believe that every team needs their best batsman batting high up the order. I think we need to give Quinton an opportunity to be able to score much bigger centuries. I don't think he has the best ability, the best opportunities to score massive runs at the bottom where he's batting, if he's batting at 6 or he's batting at 7. I know that he has had opportunities in recent times because South Africa has been very poor at the top of the order. We've been losing a lot of wickets quickly, especially in the subcontinent, and therefore Quinton has to come out and dig us out. But we have some players that have that ability too, that are from domestic cricket that can move into the side, that can also do exactly the similar role. Give debutants a chance. We're going to annihilate Sri Lanka and give new guys a solid boost of confidence for the tough tours ahead. Yeah, I think thinking about the next test championship should be on their mind. I don't think they should go blindly into the next 2 years of preparation. I think we have now an excellent year of preparation now because we haven't been really doing well in this test championship. I kind of want to write this test championship off as a supporter and just say that South Africa should try to build their best team around some key players. Shaib Zahir saying Anik Nokia might be a pacer to watch out for the season. He really has looked all class, and his ability to crank it up to 150 kilometers per hour. Gerald Coetzee should also be in the mix. Yes, a little bit too young, I think, for Gerald Coetzee. And I'm not just talking about age. I'm talking about just the amount of caps under his name. It's very difficult to force players into test cricket too early. Yeah, sometimes it can be too early for them. Maybe they're not mentally correct. Like someone like Reina van Tonder, I feel he's proven now over the last 2 seasons that he has the mental strength. We would like to see him obviously score big scores on other grounds other than Bloemfontein. We had a massive conversation about this recently, some of my media friends, where he's actually scored majority of his runs at Bloemfontein. All his centuries he scored at Bloemfontein. So it's hectic. I think he scored over 500 runs in Bloemfontein alone. So we would like to see him how he's going to perform in the next match at Newlands. That's in different ground, in different conditions. We'll see how he performs on that match. If we can get another century, that would be excellent, because I love Reina van Tonder. I love his mindset. I love his attitude. I love everything about him. I'm a massive fan of Reinhard. 10 for Andrich on Boxing Day. Hey, some guys might say opening for Andrich. The way he batted again as a night watchman against England. Just Kohli, I don't think Kony will bat higher than 5 as long as Faf is still around. That's an interesting point. An option as well could be Faf at 3 or Rassie at 3 and Kony at 4, or we can have a Faf at 3, Kony at 4, and Rassie at 5, or switch Rassie and Faf around. Faf hasn't complained about batting at 5 in previous tests. Would you select Reina van Tonder for the Australia Test series? You see, at the end of this season, I think there's going to be some big questions needed to be asked about whether Reina van Tonder should be in the side or not. I feel that Reina van Tonder has proven over 2 consecutive seasons that he can score big. But like I said, we want to see him also perform on other grounds, not only Bloemfontein. Where Bloemfontein is being seen to be quite a batting paradise. There's been some big scores scored at Bloemfontein this season. We have Shaib Zahir saying, again, Khalid, I agree with you. With Quinton needs to bat higher. He is our best player, and why waste time at 6 and 7? That is such a negative strategy. Plus Faf and Quinny can put in big partnerships. Imagine Faf and Quinny coming in the middle order. Yes, so that will be excellent. I really think that is awesome. Great show to let the fans give their opinions respect. No, thank you. That's all that the show is about. I love it, you guys, to give your opinions. I like to hear what you guys have to say, and that's what these shows are all about. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you to you, and let your friends and family and everybody that you know subscribe to the channel, and obviously help us and support us so we can create bigger and better shows down the line. Thanks everybody for watching. I think a lot of guys have said that Rassie shouldn't be dropped. He's undroppable in the test side. We need to build our team around him and Faf and Quinny and those guys, and obviously Aiden and Dean at the top. I think that a lot of people feel that our batting lineup is kind of settled. But let us know after this video is done. Go into the main comment section and comment there too, and leave your comments, leave your teams, and we want to hear what you guys have to say. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, click that notification bell for all future videos. Share this with everybody that you know. Let's get this the subscribers on this channel much higher. Let's try to spread this to every cricket lover that you can find that are in love with the Proteas, because we really want to help grow South African cricket in this country. Of course, South African cricket in this country. So subscribe to the digital magazine. The link is on the screen and in the description. Don't forget to go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your updates. We have a Sri Lanka series tab where you can get all updates on the test series. We're also doing 4-day wraps. We're also doing WSL wraps and all news updates that we can find as well. Don't forget to, obviously, if you have a business and you're looking to make money online, and you're looking to make sales online, even if your business is offline, we at Cricket Fanatics Magazine are going to try to help you. So click on the links in the description and also see our free video on how to do so. Thanks a lot to everybody for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow with another daily show. But the daily show is going to be replaced now. We're going to have the daily show be replaced on a Thursday. It's going to be replaced by the women's show. So that happens at 7 o'clock. So I'm really excited for you guys to see what is happening there. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care, everyone.